Alright, hello everyone, this is WooTrop bringing you my very first StarCraft 2 shoutcast. Here we have a game between Requiem Esports, DarkCell, and 11 Gaming's Slurgi. Requiem Esports is actually merged with eMgDarkCell, so now it's actually eMgDarkCell. This game on scrap station between the red Zerg DarkCell, spawning in the top position, and the blue Protoss Slurgi, spawning in the bottom position. And we have a GLHF and a heart from Slurgi, and a good game, good luck from DarkCell. This game is from the losers bracket round 4 of MLG Dallas 2011. So this is on patch 1.3.1. So the warp gate timings are not nerfed as they were in patch 1.3.3. And we see here Slurgi's putting his first pylon down below his ramp. That indicates to me that he's going to be doing some sort of wall right here, so he can get a fast expansion at his natural. Usually for Protoss you see them doing some sort of 4-gate strategy, putting proxy pylons up here in the natural wherever, just because of the long ground distances in that early game. So because of that, Zerg are usually favored on this map because they are given a little easier time to get a good economy up. And right now we have DarkCell throwing up his spawning pool. It looked like it was on 14, so he's not going to go for that expansion first, not going to go for macro heavy style. And yes, Slurgi is putting up a forge near that choke, so he's going to be forge fast expanding, building some cannons for some basic defense. And DarkCell definitely sees this, as an overlord just hovering over that, so he sees the forge going up. And right now Slurgi is just still moving his probe around DarkCell's base, getting a good scout, sees that the expansion is not being taken right now. DarkCell is setting out a drone for that, but it is being blocked by a probe on patrol, attacking a little bit, but it is not going to be able to get that hatchery down at the time that DarkCell would probably like. And we have two drones going across the map over to Slurgi's base. I have no idea what he is thinking of doing right here. Is he going to try to harass a little bit? Oh, no, he has two extractors queued up. Oop, nope, make that just one right now. And he's going to do a gas steal. Sees that going on, sees that the Nexus is going up at the natural way before his hatch does. Just putting his hatch down right now. So Slurgi is quite a ways ahead on his economy, getting that fast expansion. And he is also throwing up two cannons at the front, doesn't want any sort of Zerglings running in here causing any trouble for his mining, getting his first gateway up as well. Meanwhile, right now not too much is going on. DarkCell is not getting any gas of his own in his main, so he's not going to get any fast speedlings. Just drawing up, getting his first queen. And he's, oh, what's this? He's throwing down a hatchery right there. That's a little bit interesting. I am not sure what he plans on doing with that. Possibly just to block it off a little bit. Possibly just a macro hatch. It will spread creep a lot faster between these two bases, and the distances between these two bases, the main and the natural, is quite large. So he will have a tough time doing that with just creep tuners. Slurgi's Cybernetics core is almost finished, so he will be able to start getting warp gate research, but he does not have any gas. He is putting up two assimilators at his natural, as DarkCell did steal both the gases in Slurgi's main. Good thing he has that natural, so he can still get gas. That means his warp gate will not be completely stopped, just delayed by a bit. And we do have DarkCell putting in 5 Zerglings at the front of Slurgi's choke right here, bringing 5 of them back, just leaving 1 for a nice little scout. Taking the Xel'Naga towers is what I'm going to assume he's doing. Yes, just getting some good vision right now. And actually looking at the mini-map, DarkCell has really good vision all over the map. Sees pretty much everything that Slurgi is doing except for what's going on right in front here. Oop, what's going on? Slurgi's finally taking out those extractors and gonna get his gas back in his main. All 3 of those hatcheries are up. He does have 3 queens out, so he will have quite the protection, but Slurgi is ahead in the food count. And Slurgi is even ahead on workers right now. On 3 hatches, DarkCell is not taking the chance to drone up quite as hard as Zerg would like to. And Slurgi does put a cannon behind this destructible debris, make sure Zerglings don't break that down and get easy access into that natural expansion. That one extractor is still up for DarkCell right now. Zergling speed finally going down for DarkCell. And 4 more gateways coming up for Slurgi right now. So that's going to be a 5 gate on 2 base. And he's also throwing down a starport. Not too sure what he's going to be doing with that. My guess would be he's going to go for some sort of Phoenix build. Harass those overlords that DarkCell has spread all over the map. Take away some of the vision that he has. And just force DarkCell to produce more, possibly supply cap him. And Slurgi is getting ground weapons level 1 and a robotics facility. Meanwhile, a Baneling nest is going down for DarkCell. There it is. And he is also getting burrow. So that maybe he's going to try to... I'm not sure what he's going to do with burrow there. So Slurgi does have a lot of sentries out and a zealot. He doesn't have too many units out right now. Not too much of an army. They are tied on workers right now. Slurgi getting up to 5 zealots. There are 6 Zerglings out for DarkCell. So both of them just building up their economy quite a bit. And Slurgi's actually taking down those rocks behind his natural by himself. So that way he can move his army out and not rely on breaking down the wall in front at all. And there's the Stargate, and definitely he is. Oh, started Void Ray, canceled that. Getting a Phoenix, so I was right on that call. And right now there are just more Zerglings coming out for DarkCell. He is actually getting Hydras, so he has a Hydra Den down. So against a pure gateway army, against these zealots and sentries, Hydraling, not the best, but definitely will do the job. Slurgi taking out with Changeling from DarkCell, as you can see that disintegrating corpse right there. Yes, Slurgi just has zealots and sentries and Phoenix right now. A couple observers, first observer's right out, second one's coming out right now. DarkCell tries to poke in a little bit, but sees all those zealots and all those sentries and decides that is not a good idea whatsoever. Slurgi's Phoenix is patrolling about, looking for whatever it can find. Ooh, force fields from Slurgi, not quite force fielding off that choke completely, so DarkCell Zerglings do get away. That's unfortunate for our Protoss player. Getting an Immortal out right now, but there are no roaches. It's not going to be quite as effective with all these high DPS, low damage units. Low damage being Zerglings. Hydras are pretty high damage themselves. And burrowing some Banelings over here at his choke, leading into his natural, his backdoor of his natural. So Slurgi, if Slurgi tries to sneak his or move his zealots and sentries across there, he will not be very happy. DarkCell moving his Hydras, trying to protect his overlords right now. Slurgi sniping a second overlord that I've seen, and that will not supply cap him, thankfully. Throwing down a Spore Crawler to prevent any sort of lift harass. And Slurgi is actually going for his third as well as DarkCell. So both these guys going for the third base. Slurgi is ahead in that regard again. And getting +2 ground weapons. And Baneling speed going down for DarkCell, so he's going to be able to take down any units that decide to move onto the creep, but there is no creep spread out quite this far, as I would like to see DarkCell spreading his creep a little bit more. Has this one tumor just idle, and he is taking down the rocks in the middle. Gotta make a short path between the two naturals. Slurgi does have an Immortal sitting outside his rocks near that middle hallway, I guess you'd call it, and he's going to be able to see if DarkCell decides to go for that push through there. Slurgi's Phoenix is actually flying over that little hallway there, is able to see everything that's coming, sniping down an Overseer. It's almost full energy Overseer. Oh, there that goes. It won't be able to detect any observers. Oh, we have Ventral Sacs going down for DarkCell. So we're going to see some drops, some drop play from that, and Slurgi is throwing down his robotics bay that is just finished and getting a second robotics facility, so he's going to be doing double Colossus production, also getting Blink, so he has a Twilight Council down as well, and DarkCell is getting melee attacks level 2. Oop, apparently there was a little bit of a pause in the game there, but it is okay, we are just watching a replay. Oh, Slurgi's actually going for air weapons level 1, so actually going to power up his Phoenix a little bit, make him do a little extra damage, patrolling that airspace between the two mains, and also scouting out that island a little bit. That'll be able to detect any sort of drop play that DarkCell tries, and DarkCell is just massing up a lot of units. There is an Overlord full of Zerglings right now, so he is going to try to drop into Slurgi's main, but Slurgi has those Phoenix right there. I would assume it would get taken out unless he hits some sort of amazing timing where the Phoenix will not see it. But here we have a large group of units, a large group of Hydras and Zerglings and Banelings from DarkCell. Just sitting back right now, not going to attack. Slurgi does have a force of units right here, a few sentries, all full energy. So if any sort of push comes through there, he will be able to just stop it dead in its tracks. Slurgi does not have any units at his third, so that is fairly wide open. There are a lot of cannons though, and DarkCell setting in quite a number of Hydras, just taking down buildings so quickly as their DPS is insanely high. But Slurgi moving some units down there now, just a handful of Stalkers, a couple of Zealots, and a couple of Sentries. I don't think that'll be enough to take out the Hydras, but DarkCell does back off. Meanwhile, he is taking that gold expansion down in the south, so if he gets that up without Slurgi noticing, his economy will get a significant boost. Thermal Lance finishing for Slurgi right now, also throwing up a fleet beacon. That is an interesting choice. Is he going to get a mothership? I would guess he's getting a mothership, and we see that the drop from DarkCell never really went off. I'm guessing those Phoenix picked it off rather easily. Slurgi's main is getting mined out. His natural is also getting mined out, so he's going to be on only one real full base going on. But Slurgi moving his units, not Slurgi, DarkCell moving his units through that middle, not enough, meets 3 Colossi, and they just get fried instantly. Slurgi moving down to that gold base, attacking anything he can, taking out a few units. A few Stalkers die in that process. And DarkCell is forced to back off, wait for more units, bring more Hydras in. Ooh, that Colossus just fried a bunch of Banelings. Plus 3 ground weapons going for Slurgi, almost finished. Banelings making 15 of those from DarkCell. Slurgi is also getting a Void Ray out, so he's going to be able to take down that one hatchery in the south. So what I'd be guessing he's going to use that for, because there is nothing else that Void Ray will really be useful for. And Slurgi's still holding that middle hallway position, not letting DarkCell take any sort of push through there. Also, he still has 4 Phoenix patrolling the airspace over his main. Slurgi taking his Stalkers and just killing so many Overlords. But DarkCell, ooh, he doesn't seem to really care. He's going to get Supply Block to lose all those. Now Slurgi decides to just go for this hatchery. It does go down, so DarkCell did not get too much mining off of that. And right now he is just massing up units. Slurgi is still going on probe production. How many? Slurgi has 88 probes to the 64 of DarkCell. His economy is quite a bit. Ooh. Actually, the economy of DarkCell is a bit ahead, as Slurgi is probably mining out of his natural. His main is completely mined out. A bunch of idle probes. That's why his economy isn't quite as good as it could be. But here we go, pushing through that mill. At the same time, he's also pushing that third, taking out a bunch of Hydras, taking out all the units protecting that, and a GG from DarkCell. Slurgi takes game 1, and tune in for game 2 on my channel.